Neil Monroe stars as Quentin Nickles in Deadman's Plot with Sarah Orenstein and Peter Millard.
Prisoner 14572, Macy Jackal. Anyone in the yard see you come in here?
No. Who set this up, God? Who's breaking me out of this godforsaken pen?
Never mind who, Jackal. What you gotta do is be at the crossroads a mile north of the Bull and Bear Inn at midnight Tuesday. They need a cracksman, and they think you're the best.
I can crack any safe made. But what's your take?
None of your business. You're going out through this sewer grate. And here's a map of Kingston Prison sewer system leading to the lake.
Like taking sweets from a babe.
Now, to make it look good, take my revolver and Billy. Hit me with the club. But not too hard, damn you.
With pleasure. For a little insurance, you mortal sod. Also, because there's only a few pleasures left for a fella.
Inspector Nickles, stay aboard. If you miss this one, the next train to Kingston is tomorrow.
There's half a mo, Abby. I see that boy has the Kingston Week Standard.
Forget the newspaper. You'll miss the train and the trial.
Rat!
Run, Inspector, run!
Late one day, on time the next.
Jump! Oh, that was too close. Now stop these foolish impulses before you're hurt or killed. A newspaper, indeed.
Look at the headline. Master Cracksman kills guard. Makes daring break from Kingston Pen. Now, let's see if... Damn, it is Macy Jackal. I put him away last year.
He robbed the Imperial Bank in Toronto.
That's right. Cracked their best chub like a joke. You mark my words. He's a malicious little deviant who's certain to be up to no good.
It's about bloody time. I'm freezing here in the dark.
You Macy Jackal?
No, I'm bleeding Queen Victoria out for air. And who be you?
Will Brock.
And your mate?
Never mind who he is. We got a job for you. A bank job.
What's the swag, Brock?
10,000 cash for you on the night. Then you disappear across the St. Lawrence to New York. A rich and free man.
A dead man, you mean? There's spring ice and open water twixt here and there.
Not to Wolf Island. Cross the ice to there, and you'll find a boat.
And if I say no?
Well, then we broke you out for naught. But it only costs us a bullet.
Put it up, Mr. Brock and partner. I'm in. I'll get my tools, and I'll crack your safe. Like I'd crack a robin's egg under my heel.
Well, Inspector Nickles, thanks to your testimony and that of Dr. LaPierre, another murdering swine will soon meet his maker.
Yes, we'll spend a long time in Kingston, Chief. Which brings me to another subject. The breakout.
Jackal? Don't worry. He'll be back inside before long.
Chief Ogilvy, I thought Kingston Penitentiary was escape-proof.
It's supposed to be, Doctor. But he found an old sewer system with an entrance under a tool shed in the yard. He lured a guard in there, shot him with his own gun, and crawled to the lake and freed him through a channel.
Why?
Why what?
Well, why did he lure the guard? He was in the tool shed. He'd have found the sewer. Why call the guard?
Because he's a treacherous little weasel. No other reason that I can think of. Of course, that escape raised a few eyebrows, especially now.
Why now?
Because of the Buckingham diamond. You've heard of it, of course.
Of course, it's famous.
There's 110 carats, blue-white quality, second in size and brilliancy to the Tiffany diamond, and found some 20 years ago, 1878, I believe.
You know your diamonds, Inspector. Now I'll let you in on a little secret. It's here, in our bank vault.
Here? It's going to the World Columbian Exposition in Chicago this summer. But what is it doing here, now?
A surprise preliminary tour of some major North American cities. Unfortunately, rumors of a robbery plot made them resort to subterfuge to safeguard the diamond. 2 private agents carried it secretly to Kingston, while Lord Buckingham went on to Toronto with an empty case. It's safe here.
Well, never underestimate the power of the criminal mind, sir.
Jekyll's escape at this juncture is mere coincidence.
I'm not a believer in coincidence myself. But it's a clever ruse, much like one I executed at Scotland Yard to thwart a robbery.
You don't say. What sort of ruse was that?
The Bank of England was moving a significant amount of bullion. An informer told us the Soho gang would strike near Tower Bridge, so we sent a bank wagon filled with lead in its place and waited near the bridge. We dearly wanted to apprehend this gang because they were using firearms during robberies. Anyway, everything was going to plan when my vacationing chief superintendent accidentally happened on the scene, and my disguise as a fishwife.
Ah, yes. I'll have 2 mackerels, miss, and they'd better be fresh.
You're coming up. It's a shame what a Scotland Yard inspector has to do to earn a spare shilling now and then, isn't it, Sir Leonard?
My God, madam, I mean, Nickles, is that you?
Yes, sir. There's a bullion robbery about to take place. The wagon is in sight, and there are 14 constables waiting below the bridge.
Have you all gone mad? I'm away for 5 days, and you're out dressed as a fishwife, playing at pirates or some such. Look out, you've dropped my fish.
Look, I'm sorry, sir, but if I bend to get it, this corset may let go and kill us both. Now get behind the cart with me, sir. There may be shooting.
Have you a firearm?
Yes, indeed I do. Now get down, sir. These men are killers.
Who authorized the firearm?
Does it really matter, sir? Get down!
Of course it does. That won't do, Nickles. It just won't do. A sharp smack on the side of the head from a copper's truncheon will set them straight and shows them the righteousness of the Lord.
Yes, I know, sir, I know.
I say, my good man.
What do you want?
Want? I'm a customer. And now that all the excitement is over, perhaps you and your pretty wife could pause your domestic dispute long enough to fetch me up some flounder.
Wife? My wife? Ye gods and little fishes, what next? I ask you, Nickles, is there no end to your attempts to annoy me?
Oh, nag.
Inspector? Quentin, are you there? What is this, Doctor?
Don't worry. He's just slipped into one of his spells. We've studied his case and find that it's undoubtedly related to the decrepitude of advancing age.
Oh, wait a moment. Just because I sometimes lose myself in tales of the yard is certainly no sign of reaching my dotage.
Well, you do have to admit that you're older than I.
This sounds like a long-running dispute between colleagues.
Well, not so long-running, I assure you. Nevertheless, to return to the matter in hand, my recollections have raised issues about this breakout. Now, Buckingham Diamond is certainly in danger.
It's no use, I can't open it.
Damn you! They said you were the best! What's wrong?
It's the chub. They've increased the thickness of the hinges and added a dirty great flange around the door. I can't get near it with my wedges. Even my jack-in-the-box won't touch a safe like that. They've changed since I went inside.
Well, I brought dynamite. Take this candle over to that window. Move it back and forth 3 times.
What for?
Because we need some help! Now do it and hurry!
Well, Chief, I think we shall call it a night.
Am I interrupting you, madam? Gentlemen?
Oh, hello, Harrison. Let me introduce Inspector Quentin Nickles of the Ontario Constabulary and his colleague, Dr. Abby LaPierre. Harrison Smith is the manager of our local bank. I told the inspector and doctor about our guest, Harrison.
Well, Chief, I hope they're the only ones you've told. My bank is responsible for safeguarding the diamond.
Well, I assure you, your secret's safe with us. I only hope your Buckingham Diamond's as secure.
Inspector, Sir George Chubb himself is in town and personally supervised the installation of the latest Chubb vault at our bank. The diamond is as safe as if it were in the Tower of London.
Mr. Smith, it appears the safe has been blown.
It's gone! Chubb said it was impossible to crack this safe.
The impossible just takes a little more dynamite.
What a calamitous mess.
Yes, and might we try and keep things as they are, please? Preserve the scene.
Of course. What's all that? What have you found, Inspector?
Burned money. Useless now, really. Mr. Smith, who has the combination to this safe?
I do, and 2 bank officials in Toronto, each with half the combination. Special arrangements for the diamond.
I see. And where are the Pinkerton men, the couriers?
We were to meet at the hotel at 10, but they didn't show up.
I knew as soon as you mentioned Pinkerton, after that business in Hamilton.
Yes, it looks suspicious, all right, but we don't know anything for certain yet. Well, you'd better get some constables after them.
You think they did it?
Well, I don't know yet. And who else knew the jewel was here?
Just Lord Buckingham and the Lloyds of London agent.
Look at this. Melted wax by the safe and wax drippings by the window. Do you keep candles about in here, Mr. Smith?
No.
So, they brought their own. Scorch marks on the floor from a fuse that was at least 10 feet long. You see how it burned in a coil for a while? And look at this. Wedges, a stock made of brass, the screw, all cracksman's tools. It was Macy Jacker, all right. And those 2 Pinkerton men probably broke him out to do the job. Obviously, he couldn't crack the new safe, so they blew it up.
That's astounding. How you're able to read a crime scene so quickly.
He's had lots of practice, believe me.
Look at the damage inside the safe. Nothing could have withstood that blast.
But Inspector...
Never mind, Chief, don't thank me. By now, those men are headed across the ice to New York. Do you have tracking dogs?
The penitentiary would, for going after prisoners.
Then get some of Macy Jackal's belongings, feed the scent to the dogs, and let's get after them.
I have to be here in case someone gets hurt.
Well, it's against my better judgment. I can't watch you every second, so mind you don't slip. There's open water in the ice pack.
You don't need to watch me. Do your job, Quentin, and I'll do mine.
The dog handler says they were onto Jackal's track, but they seem confused now. Look over here.
So, let's see. 2 set of prints, and 1 set disappears and the other continues, but comparatively deeper as though we were carrying a load. And though the prints continue, no scent.
No, the dogs ignore the footprints from here on.
All right, let's get the men off the ice before someone drowns.
What do you mean it doesn't add up?
Well, first, Jackal has never used dynamite since he blew off 2 fingers. And wax drippings by the window. The candle was used for light while they cracked the safe. Why bring it to a window? There were 3 other things that didn't make sense. The long fuse, the quick getaway, and those Pinkerton agents were handpicked by Lloyds, the insurers of the diamond.
It's all very interesting, Quentin, but, I'm exhausted, aren't you?
You know what's also strange? We couldn't have been more than 2 minutes at the bank after the explosion, and yet not a sign of them. And the fuse was so long... And there's... So that's it.
What?
Sleep tight, Abby.
Quentin, what is it? Quentin? Please. Oh, tell me or I'll be awake all night. Inspector?
Mr. Smith, I see your people have been doing an accounting.
Morning, Inspector. Doctor.
Morning.
We had $25,000 in cash in the new safe with the Buckingham diamond. We've accounted for about $5,000 in burned or shredded bills. The majority of our notes and other cash is still in the old safe, thankfully.
So about $20,000 is missing.
But why steal it if it was shredded and burned?
Exactly, unless it wasn't.
Any sign of those Pinkerton agents?
Chief Ogilvy was burning up the wires this morning, calling and telegraphing other towns with their description.
Lord Buckingham. Good morning, sir. I wish we were meeting again under better circumstances.
We left Toronto by special train last night, as soon as we heard.
This is Inspector Nickles and his colleague, Dr. LaPierre. They are helping Chief Ogilvy with the investigation.
Nickles. I know you, don't I? From Scotland Yard. Worked for Sir Leonard Cockerell.
Correct, my lord.
A word in private, Inspector. Excuse us, Doctor.
Yes, of course.
Inspector, some of my business dealings haven't been up to snuff lately, and to protect certain assets, such as the Buckingham diamond, I've placed them in Lady Buckingham's name. If I could have your discretion, it would save me some embarrassment. It's merely a temporary setback, of course.
Mum's the word, sir.
I shall tell Sir Leonard of your kindness when I return to London.
Thank you, sir. Oh, by the way, what was the amount of insurance carried on the diamond?
Oh, I believe £1 million or so.
Just £1 million, Abby. So, now we have another suspect. An owner who has money problems and £1 million insurance policy on a missing gem. I wonder who has the most to gain here.
Morning. Welcome to Kingston Police Headquarters.
Oh, thank you, Chief. I guess you heard that.
Yes, but surely you're not suggesting Lord Buckingham set up the theft of his own diamonds?
Stranger things have happened. Well, at least we're not short of suspects. Macy Jackal, 2 Pinkerton agents, and the diamond's owner.
We may be able to strike one off your list, Inspector. I've just had word a body was found by my men on the ice.
Who is it?
We think it's Jackal. Perhaps we should explore any theories you might have.
I've finally figured out how it was really done. Now I simply have to figure out who did it.
But you said they blew the safe open with dynamite. That's how it was done.
Actually, I said they blew the safe up with dynamite. I didn't say they blew it open. A damned cold, if somewhat beautiful day, Chief. Truly Canadian, eh?
That sun on the snow is blinding. Here we are.
Yes, that's Jackal, all right. Do you mind if I turn him right over?
Go ahead, Inspector. No one's touched him. I see the single set of footprints heading back to Kingston.
Yes. It was obviously carried here. Stiff as a board. No outward signs of trauma. Can't see any bullet wounds. If you don't mind, I'd prefer the body remain here for Dr. LaPierre to examine.
Very well.
What's in this satchel? Well, cash. A lot of cash. Must be thousands. But no diamonds. Strange, smells just like cash.
Shouldn't it?
And the inside of the satchel smells like dynamite, which means this isn't his satchel.
But he's carrying it.
That's right, but Jackal was deathly afraid of dynamite, meaning this satchel belonged to someone else. Here's a percussion Colt, probably the gun that killed the guard.
Chief Ogilvy!
Oh, now, who's this, Chief?
It's all right, Inspector. This is Mr. Oliver Stanstead, the Lloyd's insurance agent.
I heard you found the diamond.
Well, I'm afraid not, Mr. Stanstead. Just one of the people who took it.
Rotter. Your desk sergeant told me that the Pinkerton men are suspects. I can't believe it.
Neither does their agency, but they're sending photographs of the agents. We'll have wanted posters out within days.
Those men have been with their firm for more than 10 years. We've used them before.
Mr. Stanstead, would you happen to have a picture of the Buckingham diamond I might have?
Oh, why, yes, right here in my case. Here. You'll hardly need it to identify the jewel. There's few this size hanging about.
Thank you. Now, Chief, is there a jeweler in town?
You don't think he sold it to a jeweler, do you?
Well, gentlemen, let's just say I feel a jeweler will figure prominently in this scheme.
You always bring me bodies. Why don't you bring me flowers or something else once in a while?
Flowers? Well, I could, yes, I could bring you flowers if you like.
Oh, never mind.
Well, what's going on, Abby? I don't have to be a detective to see you're upset.
We were to have lunch together at the Royal Cafe. Any memory of that at all?
Oh.
I sat there so long waiting for my gentleman companion that the manager hinted you were a figment of my imagination and that maybe Madame would be more comfortable waiting in the foyer. Threw me out of the dining room. He looked at me like I was for sale.
Oh.
And then you show up and brazenly ask me to trek out onto the ice again and pretend to examine a body. Just pretend.
Oh, well, now I understand. You're hungry.
Hungry? I'm hungry? Oh, Quentin Nickles, I don't know what to do with you.
Well, I'm sorry, Abby, sincerely. I need to buy time and keep Jackal's body exactly where it is so you can find something on it.
And what would that be?
Well, why, the directions to the Buckingham diamond, of course. And after this is through, I shall treat you to a fine dinner at the best restaurant in Toronto.
And we shall dance.
Well, if that's your wish. Well, what? What's the matter?
Absolutely nothing. I wonder about Wellington. when he'll return.
Yes, where is Wellington? That's what's missing from our equation. He's generally thundering around in a case like this in those great 10-gallon boots of his.
Oh, didn't you know? He was sent off to do a story on the territory of Utah. It's been trying to achieve statehood for years, but was always refused because of the Mormon policy and practice of polygamy.
Which positively astounds me. I mean, how would any man handle more than one wife? I mean, it's enough of a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge to raise a family as it is. God-fearing and respectable without, a single husband and wife devoted to...
Inspector Nickles!
Hello, Chief.
I've important news.
Yes, Abby and I are on our way to examine the body.
We found the 2 Pinkerton men.
Yes, let me guess. A farmer found them in a shallow snow grave north of town, each shot in the head by a .36 caliber Navy percussion Colt.
How could you possibly know that?
Oh, cold wild guess.
Actually, it was a farmer's dog found them, but everything else is dead on.
Oh, good. It fits my theory.
I get it. They broke Jackal out to crack the safe and had to resort to dynamite. And Jackal pulled a double-cross and they shot it out. He killed them and they wounded him. He tried to make it across the ice, but died of his wounds and exposure.
Well, that's close, Chief, but right now I must take a few people into my confidence to trap the true swindler.
True swindler? Who?
Well, that's what we're about to find out. Mr. Smith, sorry to drag you out here.
Anything I can do to help out?
Well, I wanted you present when we removed the cash from his satchel. Dr. LaPierre is just examining the body first.
Inspector, I found something in his pocket.
What is it, Abby? And what do you have there?
It's a map.
Aha. Let me have that, please.
What is it, Inspector?
Well, it's a very interesting document. Please trust me on this. If everyone would just return to the police station, I have a few errands to run. Chief, could you please ask the Lloyd's man and Lord Buckingham to join you there? And you too, Mr. Smith. You may soon be able to return the diamond to your vault.
Well, splendid.
Yes, and I shall join you all there within the hour. Well, a bit warmer in here, isn't it?
Is this good news, Inspector?
Yes, what's this all about? Have you found the diamond?
Since you're the Lloyd's authority here on gems, you be the judge. Here it is. The diamond.
Yes. Yes, this is it. You found the Buckingham diamond.
Bless my soul.
I don't believe it. You were a wonder, sir. Where did you find it?
Well, if I told you, you'd never believe it. According to Abby, Jackal died of a gunshot wound located under his arm. Not much blood, but eventually fatal. Before he died, however, he managed to scrawl a map of the diamond's general location. I shall not reveal it right now, but suffice to say it was in the last location I, or you, Mr. Smith, would ever have looked.
Inspector, my congratulations. But now I must return to the bank to ready our new safe for the diamond's return.
Yes, you do that, Mr. Smith. Then come back. I've a bottle of champagne here to celebrate. Then I shall let you in on how I was able to figure it out.
Shall I go with you, Mr. Smith, to see if your new safe will be up to the job of this time?
No need, Lord Buckingham. I shall return presently and report. This is excellent news. It will help the bank re-establish its reputation.
Now what, Inspector?
What is it? What's going on?
That's what I'd like to know, Mr. Brock. Where is it?
The diamond?
Yes, the diamond, you fool.
I don't much care for your tone, Smith. The diamond is under the floorboards where we put it.
Really? Well, I just saw it handed to the Lloyds of London man. Are you pulling a double cross?
No, it has to be here.
Pull up the boards.
Impossible. See? I told you. Just where I put it. The Buckingham diamond in all its beauty.
But I just saw it. Nickles had it.
Glass fake. Hands up, gentlemen. Well, it's nice to see you again, Willie Brock. My. How bad pennies do turn up.
Nickles. How did you get in here?
Well, let's just say my days with Scotland Yard taught me to be in the right place at the right time.
Constable, put them in the far cell.
Yes, and be a good fella. Don't take your eyes off that one. He's a banker, you know.
Let me guess. You were right about everything.
You're a psychic, my dear. And the rest of you, thank you for playing along with my charade. You see, Chief, just as you did, I saw burn marks inside the safe, which is what tipped me off at first. That could only happen if the explosive was placed inside.
But why put explosives inside if they had it open?
So we wouldn't figure out it was an inside job. And when the money in Jackal's satchel didn't have a burnt smell to it, I knew they'd taken it out before setting off the charge. That long fuse to the safe gave them time for Smith to be back in the restaurant before it blew.
So you faked the map, hid it on the Deadman, had a jeweler cut a fake glass diamond, and fooled Smith into going to check where he'd hidden the diamond. You used a corpse to help catch a live one.
Yes, Deadman's help, as 'twere. And you were all excellent actors.
How did you know where it was hidden?
Well, I didn't. That's why I had to follow him.
Inspector, it's been a pleasure working with you. I suppose I'll be reading about this soon in that New York paper.
Well, no, I think not, Chief. You see, my self-appointed Boswell, or associate, as he likes to call himself, is in Utah, bothering the Mormons.
Daniel has helped out on more than one occasion, Inspector. You have to admit that.
Well, that's true enough, but he always makes me come away sounding like some combination of fanatic oracle crossed with a tenacious bloodhound sired by Sherlock Holmes.
Your point being?
Just open the champagne. I expect the flowers and dancing can't be far behind.